On the one hand, there's this genre of self-help that I call 10 little tips, 10 little bits of advice, 10 little things that you can do to make your life better. Sometimes it's not 10, sometimes it's 8 or 12 or 16, but it's always just a few, and they're always small, achievable things that you can do. You can find this in books and YouTube videos and all sorts of different media. You can find it for having a relationship, getting married, starting a family, raising kids. You can find it for going to school or starting a career or rising in leadership or starting a business. I'll bet you can find it in growing a church and discipling people and helping people experience God more. But the thing is, there are 10 little tips. 10 little things. 10 small, achievable goals. If you just make your bed every day, if you just wash behind your ears, if you just show up on time, everything will work out. And you will be happy. You'll find love. You'll get married, you'll start a family. You'll succeed in school and find a good job and rise in your career. You'll grow a church and be preaching to thousands. If you look hard enough, you can find ones that will tell you if you do these simple things, if you make your bed every day and wash behind your ears and show up on time, you will be a real true manly man, or a real true womanly woman, or a real true Christianly Christian, or a real true whateverly whatever. Do the little things, and the big things will work out. The problem, of course, is that you can do the little things and not have the big things work out. You can make your bed every day and wash behind your ears and be everywhere on time and still be lonely. And still not have the job you want. And still not have a purpose in life. And still feel like you're not the person who you're supposed to be. And the danger is that we can keep focusing on the little things so hard that we forget what they're for and not realize that they're not getting us where we want them to get us. The worst version is that we can think that doing the little things is the same as being happy, and we can get adjusted to making our bed every day and washing behind our ears and going everywhere on time and being miserable and thinking, this is what happiness is. And happiness is kind of terrible. So on the one hand, there's this self-help genre, this 10 little things. And I'm not saying it's not important to do the little things. I'm just saying we can't put too much on them. So let's set that aside. On the other hand, there's this genre of meme, which is a sentence that exists in the world now. There's this genre of meme that you'll see on social media that I don't quite have a name for, but it's the not X but Y kind of thing. It's a thing that says we don't need equality, we need equity. We don't need equity, we need justice. We don't need homeless shelters, we need new housing policy. We don't need hospitality, we need justice. We don't need charity, we need justice. We don't need the little thing, we need the big thing. So stop focusing so much on the little thing and do the big thing. And the thing about that is, the big thing is pretty big. The big thing is pretty huge. And if telling people not to focus on the little things, but the big things worked, we wouldn't be trying to solve the big things anymore. Worse, it can trick us into thinking that putting up the post is the same thing as doing the big thing. That doing the least amount possible is the same as addressing a huge issue. Focusing on the big thing is too much. And it doesn't always work because it's too much. I can't change how we house people or how we feed people or how we care for people. It would take an awful lot of us to do the big thing. So let's take don't do the little thing, do the big thing, and put that aside. Our story today has Jesus talking to Pharisees and experts in the law, and as usual, he's kind of yelling at them. And at the center of this, the thing that I've been focused on, is this single sentence. You pay the tithe on mint and rue and all kinds of herbs, but you neglect justice. You should have been working on the weightier demand of the law while not neglecting the other thing. And I think this is something that's easy to misread. See, the tithe played an important role at that time. The tithe was given so that people who had nothing would have something. The folks who owned the land, who grew the crops, who had all of the stuff, had to take a portion of what they grew and hand it over to those who had no land, who had no crop, who had no work, who had no hope, except that someone would share with them. You gave some of what you had to those who had nothing. And the Pharisees are really good at that. They are paying the tithe on every last little thing. They make sure 10% goes. A sprig of mint, a portion of a leaf goes to the poor. Don't actually know what rue is, but a bit of anything, a portion, goes to the poor. The challenge is that they're doing that so well, focusing on the little thing and forgetting why the little thing is there in the first place. And they're ignoring the big thing. The little thing is supposed to lead to the big thing. The little thing is part of the big thing. But you can't stop paying attention to the big thing. You need to do the little thing and see if it is feeding the big thing. And Jesus is saying, pay your tithe, do the little thing. But no, don't neglect the big one. Pay your tithe, but do more than that. Pay your tithe, but do justice, because paying your tithe is in the service of justice. It's getting stuff rearranged so that there's enough and more than enough for everyone. Pay the tithe, but don't stop there. And this maybe is the thing. Those little things are important. By all means, make your bed every day and wash behind your ears and be on time. But if you're doing that in service of something else, keep an eye on the something else. Do more than the 3 or 6 or 9 or 10 or 12 simple things. Work for the big thing. And if you find that the little things aren't working, change the little things. But keep doing little things to make the big thing happen. We've been talking for the last few weeks about being human, about the life that Jesus calls us into, which is more than a life of just doing the stuff that Jesus said. It's a life of being alive, of having new life and abundant life, of being really, truly human as we are meant to be, and part of that is justice. And we have talked about faith. And I am going to tell you that faith is justice. We've talked about love, and I'm going to tell you that love is justice. We've talked about hospitality, and I will tell you that hospitality is justice. We've talked about charity, and I will tell you that charity is justice. The little things are justice. The difference is that justice is faith on a policy level. Justice is love made big. Justice is hospitality written into the law. Justice is charity as a basis for our economics. Justice is all of those little things that we can do one to one or one to a few, that we can do in our little lives, grown up, made big and powerful and strong and changing the world. So we do the little things. We do the little things so that they will grow inside of us. We do the little things so that they will be too much to contain within us. We do the little things so they'll be too much to contain in this room, so that our faith will spill out from this sanctuary, and our love will spill out from this building, and our hospitality will spill out from this little corner of DeWitt, and our charity will spill out from this town. And God's reign of love will spill out from everywhere and fill the whole world. Justice is not too big a thing. It is just all of the little things that we do grown up. And so to be human, to have an abundant life, is to do the little things and feel the little things grow and help the little things spill out until the little things fill the world. And suddenly the big thing is here. And the world is full of justice. And God's reign of love is no longer just in our hearts, but all around us.